From outer space to San Antonio. Splash! Go Spurs, go! And that is nothing but net.
There will be a Game 7, Spurs fans. Welcome to a live episode of Spurs in Focus. We're here on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, Pocket Cast, Amazon Podcasts. Go subscribe right now. Spurs in Focus Substack is completely free. Sign up today. I bet y'all are beaming right now. Especially those who probably didn't think the Spurs could do it. But as I said in the intro, there will be a Game 7. I am Jeff Garcia, a longtime Spurs writer in San Antonio. I'll be your host. The guy next to me is Mr. Rudy Campos of the Sports Answer. And your prediction's busted now. You picked Spurs in 6, so
I did. I'm sorry. Well, hey, they won in 6. They won Game 6, so I guess yeah. You want to go technicality.
Rudy's really stretching it there. Really stretching it there. He is with the Sports Answer. Follow him on X at the Sports Answer. And what a time to be a Spurs fan. The fight is not over. The war is not over. The battle's not over. But there will be a Game 7 after your San Antonio Spurs beat the Thunder 118-91. Yeah, they wrecked them. It was not a contest. We're going to be going over our general thoughts, general takeaways. Then we'll get into my specific takeaways, what I liked about the game. Then we'll get to Rudy, what he has to say about his takeaways, and then play our usual game with Rudy. Standout stats, standout player, turning point. He doesn't know which I'm going to start with. And then we'll get to you guys, the Spurs in Focus fans. You guys leave a comment. Leave a comment. Rudy is the czar of the comment section. Like, Mike Portillo, the czar of the telestrator. It's Rudy Campos, czar of the comment section. He'll pick those that he deems worthy enough to talk to later on this episode. But as I mentioned, your Spurs, they did it, baby. They did it. 118-91. The series is tied 3 games apiece. Game 7 will be in Oklahoma City this Saturday night. Get your popcorn ready. Get your hot wings ready. Get everything you want to do. Rally the troops. The Spurs are going to need all that energy. Rudy, they need to do a Goku Spirit Bomb right now. Just collect all the positive energy for Game 7 and just release it on the Thunder. But, hey, that is for another show. Today we're talking about the game-winning series tying Spurs. Yeah, those young guys. Rudy, when you talk about a young team that really hasn't done much together, they're doing a lot together. There's a lot of firsts in this crazy postseason run they're having. They faced a do-or-die situation tonight, and they manned up. They stepped up to the plate. They knocked it out of the park. They had to rally from double-figure deficits in this postseason, from the Blazers series to the Wolves series, and they proved it. Tonight was another thing. And that's what I want to start off with. My general thought here is just how many times when you think the Spurs are down for the count, they rally. You saw Victor Wembanyama have a phenomenal rebound game from very poor showing in Game 5. The defense was ratcheted up. There were so many things that just opened up my eyes about this young squad that I just want to say, my God, there's growing up fast, but my God, this team is growing up light years ahead of where they should be. I know everybody's saying, they're about 2 or 3 years away from where they should be. I think they're there now. They are there. This team is a powerhouse in the West, in the NBA right now, Rudy. So right away, my general thought is they are conquering every hurdle they put in front of them this postseason run. And tonight was another example of that. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, a young team, all in general, very, very young team.
Yeah.
And, I figured the season, 25-26 season was going to be the turning point for San Antonio. For a few years, I said, this is going to be that season. I didn't expect them to go this far. I fully expected them to at least get into the minimum play-in this season.
Sure.
Well, they surpassed all the expectations, get a number 2 seed. And the thing that you have seen all season, Jeff, is something we've talked about. They've been growing up right before our eyes. The emergence of Victor Wembanyama, you've seen how he's had a healthy season this year. And then you also saw a full offseason with De'Aaron Fox, how that's been turning out for San Antonio. You saw the emergence of Julian Champagny. You saw Stephon Castle take a next step forward in his transition to becoming a great pro in the league. But the biggest guy, and I think it's funny because I think national media kind of picked up on it too. Something that I had been telling you all season was Devin Vassell, man. I mean, under
Mhm.
Coach Pop, it was a different Devin Vassell, but now under Coach Mitch, Mitch has actually hit some kind of nerve with Devin and turned him into the player that a lot of us have been expecting Devin to be. For a good amount of his time, we figured, you know what, Devin probably hit the ceiling already. He's probably not going to improve much more. What you see is what you get. And no, Mitch has opened up another path for Devin Vassell. Arguably could be, like I mentioned before, probably one of the MVPs of this team right now in this OKC series.
Yeah.
He's shots, he's making defensive plays, he's just balling out left and right. And again, credit to the coaching staff. They've been able to open up another path for Devin Vassell. But this team, it's a mixture of veterans and a mixture of young guys. And what's
Right.
crazy is those young guys, a la the future superstar Dylan Harper, does not play like a rookie or a 1 or 2 year guy. They're playing like, seasoned veterans.
Sure.
That's the scary part about San Antonio. This team's going to be locked and loaded for a very, very long time. They're not going anywhere. I just have to say that Game 7, that's the best 2 words
Absolutely.
in sports. The greatest 2 words in all sports, is one of our comments has there. I honestly, man, I don't know what more to expect. All I can say is they're still not going to lose 2 in a row because
Yeah.
they haven't done it all year.
Well, by the way, a quick wardrobe change. I switched to my Toros hat. I see Mr. Josh Mayer in the house tonight. Go Toros. Yes. Good luck, Toros. They have their first regular season game this weekend on the road against the Syndicate. So good luck to you. And Josh, see, representing tonight, Josh.
They
Representing
looked
tonight.
impressive. I did see the highlights and I did see the video. They looked very impressive.
Yeah, they were a juggernaut. But going back to tonight's game against Spurs, got the win. Another general takeaway about this win tonight was just they looked like a team that was desperate. They didn't look like a team that was ready to give up. They didn't look like a team that was for the first time ever facing, and they were, but they had that savviness to not let the pressure of an elimination game get to them. They came out punching. And here's the thing I'm taking away from this game again. How many games in a row already have we seen the Spurs be the aggressor to start? Game 3, they were the aggressors, but they didn't get the W. Game 4, they were the aggressors. They got the W. We're constantly seeing that. They're the ones to really set the tone and the pace. And they've done that in nearly consecutive games. And they did it again tonight in Game 6. So I love that from them. Another thing that I liked about this was that from the jump, from the beginning, everybody was contributing. Champagny, offensively and defensively. Key, defensively as well. We saw him get a block. We saw him get steals. We saw him playing pressure defense. And, of course, he was scoring. You got contributions from Castle, obviously. You got contributions from Wemby, obviously. But you started getting contributions from Luke Cornett off the bench, just playing aggressive offensively. This was a complete game from everybody, not just offensively, but defensively. Rudy, they had a great balance tonight, and they didn't, and that's what I like about it, they didn't take their foot off the gas pedal. It was all gas, no brakes from beginning to end. The Thunder, sure, they made their little mini runs, but they never really got it under single digits for the most part. Maybe 9 here, but that lead the Spurs built was never in threat of being lost. Your thoughts?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's something that we've come to see when Victor Wembanyama scores. It's like at minimum 10 points in that first quarter, then they become pretty unbeatable because OKC is trying to play comeback. And once he gets going early, and that's something that we saw this game right here, the last couple of games, we've seen Victor kind of struggle coming into the game, and you're thinking, what is going on? Especially the last game, he wasn't himself. So really do not know what was going on in his head. But this game, all focus from the player introductions, Jeff, you could see that he was just focused. He wasn't taking any crap today. He came out, he put his stamp on the game. When he does that, it's pretty much an automatic win for the San Antonio Spurs. And I mean, you're talking about an OKC team, the best team in the league record-wise. they did not lead for any portion of
Yeah.
this game. That I don't remember the last time
Yeah.
you've actually seen that.
Yeah.
When you can say that about an OKC team.
Yeah.
Spurs defensively, man, the crazy part about the defensive side of things is that they did not get caught up on these, pump fakes by SGA. They did not get
No.
caught up on any of the refs blowing the whistle. What I was hoping was we would get the same crew for game 7 had the Spurs won, because this was the same crew from game 1, one of the most epic games in playoff history. What I really loved about this team was once they got going, they kept going. They did not stop. If they got a turnover, they were able to get that turnover back on the
Right.
OKC. It was just craziness. Defense was high intensity.
Sure.
You kind of hope that you left some in the tank for game 7, being that it's only another day away, basically. You don't want them to come out flat, especially in OKC.
Yeah.
This is that game where OKC needed it more than San Antonio. You don't want to give another team another opportunity to come into game 7 thinking, you know what, you have them on the ropes. This is the closeout game, which we know the hardest game to close out is the closeout game in a series. But I think OKC gave San Antonio a lot of confidence. Can they rebound? Of course they can rebound, but this is that chess match. This is where that whole, are they young? Are they experienced? Are they this? Are they that? OKC is going to leave it on the court. You have to hope that Victor and Dylan Harper off the bench come out swinging and continue to just get to the basket. Hopefully Victor plays under the basket again. Did have 9 3-point attempts, but he also had 12 attempts inside the arc. He's got to do the same thing, man.
Absolutely. I think it was a wire-to-wire win, wasn't it? It was. I don't think the Thunder have led at any point.
No.
As a matter of fact, they didn't.
The closest it was 0-0.
Yeah, time leading. This is amazing. The Spurs led for 47 minutes and 45 seconds of the game. They nearly led the entire game. The little 15-second gap there was probably in the beginning of the game. That's it.
Yeah.
When the tip-off and then, just getting going. So it pretty much was a wire-to-wire win. They won 3 of the 4 quarters.
Yeah.
They decimated them, the Thunder, in the third period. You held the Thunder to freaking 13 third quarter points. The Thunder just went ice cold. Yes, their shot wasn't falling, but a lot of that had to do with the Spurs defense. That was a next level. It was just next level defense versus the Thunder. As a matter of fact, here you look at their shooting percentage for the Thunder. They shot 37% for the game. That's your Thunder team. With a guy like Jalen Williams back, yes, he was limited minutes, but he was pretty much a non-factor. SGA, was he even a factor, Rudy?
15
he felt
points.
like a non-factor.
Yeah, 15 points, 0-5 from beyond the arc. It was 6 of 18 from the field. Another bad shooting night for SGA. Now, again, he did have a bad shooting night recently against the Spurs, and it was a game that San Antonio did win.
Yeah.
Is it credited to, the Spurs playing tough defense? Yeah. I mean, you saw a moment there where Carter Bryant got cooked by SGA. This game, Carter Bryant was actually more, tamed, and he was able to guard SGA a lot better than what he had been. And that's what you kind of see. You got to throw bodies at SGA. You got to make it tough for him. Don't get me wrong. SGA is one of the more prolific scorers in the league. So he's going to get his points. You can almost guarantee in game 7, he's probably going to get close to 30 points.
Right.
It's going to be an SGA game, but yeah, holding him to 15 points and 18 points, I believe, in a couple games ago, that is showing what kind of defense San Antonio played. That's why they are one, if not the best defensive team in the league, Jeff.
So I'm looking at an app I have that keeps track of stats right now. Rudy, every single Spur that played tonight, with the exception of McLaughlin, but even then, I'll tell you in a bit, was a plus in the plus minus. There was not one red. McLaughlin was just a 0, so he was a wash.
Straight 0.
Yeah, straight 0. But you look at this. I got it right here, everybody. This is crazy. Wembayama plus 13, Castle plus 13, Harper plus 19, Vassell plus 18, Champagny plus 24. Matter of fact, he had the highest plus minus of anybody on the roster.
Yeah.
Fox, even though he looked like he was struggling, he still was a plus 17. We'll get into that later. And then you got Luke Cornett plus 13. Everybody else was just a positive. Nobody, was doing anything too detrimental to the team. That's what that thing measures there. There was nothing really bad the Spurs did to themselves. They didn't really shoot themselves in the foot. And one thing I like too, it's not on my list of takeaways, my big three takeaways, but my goodness, I have never, ever, ever seen Vassell show that dog in him the way he did in the first half when he blocked Chet and bucked up to him, gave him a shove, and I thought he was going to get a tech for that, and was talking that trash to him. Really, he was talking shit, and I loved it. I loved it. I've never seen that much expression from him, that desire, that need to win. He looked like he was like a ravaged pit bull just set loose. I agree with you. He may be the MVP of this game. What do you think?
I mean, what more can you say, man?
Yeah,
Every game he does something, he does something you didn't expect him to do. And even though he had 12 points, Jeff, those 12 points were significant 12 points.
Oh, yeah.
Why? Because they all came beyond the arc. When the Spurs needed to knock down some threes, Devin Vassell was there. He was also playing massively good defense, especially that block on Chet Holmgren. I mean, you've never seen that side of Devin Vassell. And again, credit the coaching staff again as to why Devin is playing a lot better. We all love Coach Pop, but Devin was not Devin under Coach Pop. Devin was a different player now under Coach Mitch Johnson and this staff. It's a complete 180-degree Devin Vassell. Why? He doesn't have to be the man this time. It would, in his younger days, we were expecting Devin Vassell to be a 20-point guy, come in, be a leader for San Antonio. Now he falls into that role player position for San Antonio where, he is a star of the team. He's a two-way player. Derek Gervin on the airwaves one time said what he fully expects Devin to be is like a Scottie Pippen type of player. We are kind of getting that. The length on his arms, he's able to intercept a lot of passes, he's able to make a lot of tough defensive moves and giving problems to a lot of offensive players. And on the offensive side, he can knock down a key shot. He can, if you need him to score 20, he can score 20. So you're getting the best of Devin right now. And outside of Victor, I mean, you can maybe say Dylan Harper is probably MVP candidate, but Devin has been the most consistent Spur in every single game, if I'm not even mistaken. So you've got to be talking about him as potentially, one of the MVPs of this team on this series.
One other guy I want to highlight before we get into our specific takeaways is I got to circle back to Champagnie. He's had so far back-to-back good shooting nights.
Yeah.
Back-to-back. That's good. And would make this night more special for me from that guy's play you see on your screen, number 30, was the intangibles, the defense that he was playing. I think he was obviously Wemby and Castle, they did their damage. But without this guy, Champagnie, who finished with 10 points, 6 rebounds, and 2 assists, he was again plus 24 on the night. But I mean, look at the other things too. Yeah, 2 blocks, 1 steal, 1 offensive rebound, 2 for 6 from the 3 line, 33% from the field. Did all that in 25 minutes, 50% shooting from the field as well. Was pretty much a clean game for him, just 2 fouls on the night and 3 fast break points. He did it all. And he just poured it on in the first half. In the second half, 7 points. Third period, 7 points. He was just on a mission. They didn't even need him in the fourth. He only played 3 quarters. That's how effective he was. The numbers don't lie. Plus 24. But you look, his play of late has just been really good. I'm going to look at the last 2 games. So we combine the last 2 games. So game 5 and game 6. Look at that 2-game stretch for Mr. Julian Champagnie. He's averaging 16 points in the last 2 games, 7 rebounds, 1.5 assists in 27 minutes, and shooting 43% from the 3 line, going 3 for 7. I believe I have that right there. So his shot is getting better. He's contributing more offensively in the last 2 games. And I bring this up, Rudy, because I like to highlight that because he's trending in the right direction where we need to go for a game 7. If his trend is being more productive, a more reliable shooter in the last 2 games, then he theoretically and statistically, he should be there for game 7. So I want to salute him as well. But I'm going to let you have this one. Dylan Harper, man. Dylan Harper.
What can I say? Right?
Are you sure he's a rookie? You sure he's 20 years old? Because
he's not.
but he makes it look effortless, like just effortless. The way he gets to the rim is just, oh, yeah, I guess he gets to the rim. You're like, oh, sure. He just danced all around the entire defense of OKC, and look at him scoring, look at him attacking. You saw it even before he was a pro that this guy was special.
I did. I mean, like I mentioned, right before he was going to Rutgers, I mean, look at his high school tape. The guy, Dylan Harper, was a man amongst children, even getting to Rutgers. And yeah, Rutgers didn't make it to the NCAA tournament. It was him and Ace Bailey. And Dylan had a whole lot of injuries that he had to deal with at Rutgers. But nonetheless, the absolute most complete ready in player in that draft. Even over Cooper Flagg, Dylan Harper should have been number one. Glad he fell to number 2 to San Antonio.
Sure.
And you're seeing why, because I've told you before, and I'll say it again. I'm going to say it till everybody starts believing me. I've called him a superstar. He's going to be a superstar in the league, and he's going to be probably the second fiddle to Wembanyama. People call Stephon Castle second fiddle. Wait till Dylan gets going, and that's kind of sad to say because he's coming off the bench and he's getting rookie minutes, but he's not playing as a rookie. He's playing like a veteran, a leader on this team. He's playing like a superstar. I'm not even going to call him potential superstar. He's playing like a superstar. And that's the thing with Dylan Harper. Coming out of Rutgers, he was the most complete player in that draft. Glad he fell to San Antonio. The kid knows how to play both sides of the ball. He's not your typical current NBA guard where you like to just jack up threes. He understands his best game is getting to the rim, finishing around the rim, drawing contact. He has the mid game. If he needs to knock down a three-point shot, he can knock down a three-point shot. Dylan Harper is the total package, and it's crazy because he's a rookie, yet he's probably better than a lot of veterans and stars in this league already. Dylan Harper, man. I mean, go get your rookie cards now before they are way too expensive to get.
Yeah, exactly. And just overall, another general takeaway, just how well the Spurs were shooting on the night. Offensively, they were humming. So we look at the breakdown, right? Let's look at the shot areas. So you look at the mid-range. They say it's a lost art, Rudy, right? Well, for the win in Game 6, the Spurs were 67% shooting from the mid-range. What about in the paint? They were 43% shooting. They outworked, they tied the Thunder in paint shooting percentage. What about the restricted area? Basically, being in the paint there, that area there, 65% shooting on the night. They were just doing so well everywhere. They were connecting on, everything that night. You name an area. What about the 3 line? All right, the corner 3, that was the only weakest part of their shooting night. It was a corner 3. They went 3 for 13 for 23%.
Shocking.
Yeah, shocking. Yeah, but that's it. They just shot well anywhere on that court tonight. And again, I just go back to that third period, man. Sure, I guess the Thunder just went ice cold, but you still hold them to 13%. 13%. That is crazy. That is just insane. 13 points shooting. So 13 points. 13 points. That's all you did. All right, Rudy, I'm going to give you my 3 big takeaways before we hit our first break here. I'll pull them up. I can find them. They should be here somewhere. If not, I'll load them up for you guys. I'm going to have to load them up. Looks like I am. All right. So
while you're loading it, I'll tell you this. While you're loading it, so you can concentrate on that. 13 points in that third quarter. I mean, if you guys were watching this watching the show, listening to the announcers, this is another game the Spurs went on a 15-0 run. They've had already a few games where they've been on a 15-0 run. And I believe all of them have been in San Antonio. So one of their weaknesses that the Spurs have always had is coming out of halftime really flat. And they kind of worked on that towards the end of the season. And then you saw it in the playoffs as well. They kind of got rid of that little bad, karma and mantra that they've had coming out of the first half. Something that was very critical was, like Mitch Johnson said, we need to have a good start. We need to have a perfect start, but we also need to not come out flat at halftime. The start is key. Starting the second half is even bigger because, again, you make the adjustments. Mitch has been making these adjustments. Had it not been for just a couple of mistakes here and there by San Antonio, Jeff, I mean, you're potentially seeing the Spurs maybe winning this series by now. So, that second half start, crucial, big time crucial.
Yeah, it was. You look at the second half numbers here. In the second half, the Spurs outscored them 58-38. They out rebounded the Thunder 31-22 in the second half.
Mhm.
And this one goes back to what I was saying. They never took their foot off the gas pedal.
Yeah.
What about assists? They out assisted the Thunder 14-9. The list goes on and on. Free throws. They went to the free throw line 21 times, while the Thunder went 6 times. Now the Thunder went 6 for 6, but yet nevertheless the Spurs 21 times in that second half. A big reason why they got the win. And defensive rebounding 24-13. Spurs with the edge in the second half. Minimal turnovers, just 7 turnovers in the second half. Yeah. All in all, it was a great win for the Spurs. It was a wire-to-wire win. It was a complete game on both ends of the floor. All right, let me give you my 3 big takeaways here. We got MVP, baby. We got him. That's exactly what you wanted out of him. You know what? One thing I like about him, he never has back-to-back bad performances. Rarely does. And you knew he was going to have a rebound game, and boy, did he. Wemby was just showing up on the night. Wembayama here, just get up his numbers here for the game. He had 28 points, 10 rebounds, 2 assists in 28 minutes. He was pretty much a point-a-minute guy. He goes 47% from the field. He goes to free throw line 4 times. That's something I think he may need to work on, or the refs are not calling it his way, Rudy. But he goes 4 for 4. And he goes 4 for 9 from the 3 line. So that 3 shot was falling for him on the night. So that was my first big takeaway, is when MVP showed up and they needed it. Rudy, I talked about this bench production. Mm-hmm. The bench showed up tonight versus the Thunder. Off the bench, Keldon with 9 points. Olynyk with 6. Barnes contributed with 6 points. Cornette with 3. Everybody contributed. Carter Bryant with 2 points, but he chipped in with 4 rebounds and solid defense for the Spurs on SGA. Just what a game. I mentioned Harper, 18 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists in 22 minutes, a plus 19 on the night. Rudy, you got bench production. And finally, as I said earlier, they played with desperation and they ramped up their defense. I'm going to leave this up. Rudy, your thoughts?
Absolutely. Go through your we're going to go through your takeaways right now. MVP, obviously you got a great game by Victor Wembanyama. Great bounce back game. 28 points in 28 minutes of action. Yeah,
that's huge.
Key point there was 28 minutes. And finally, you got a game where he's under 30 minutes, and that is so awesome for San Antonio going into Saturday game against OKC, the game 7 there, 10 rebounds as well, 3 blocks. Again, everything that you saw him do, he got started early, Jeff. I think he had 22 points at halftime, which is, again, when he gets going that fast and he has that many points at halftime, the chances of the Spurs winning are pretty locked, and they're not going to lose if he gets to that kind of fast start. Bench production, 38 points total for Oklahoma City, who had been dominating the Spurs off the bench. Caruso's been a killer. You've been talking about Kaysen Walls has hit some big shots. You've even seen McCain was actually, when he was off the bench, he was putting up numbers. Dylan Harper had 18 points alone. San Antonio dominated the bench production on both the offensive side and the defensive side of the ball. So, yeah, +1 finally for the guys in San Antonio coming off the bench, play with desperation defense. Yes, they realized that it's win or go home for them. They came out. They played as if they were going to leave it out on the court. They played with desperation. The defense was, it was immaculate. I have to say,
it really
was. It was great defense. You saw players switching left and right. You saw them fighting through screens. But the key that we saw on defense, Jeff, and the key that a lot of people across America noticed was that they fought through screens, but they did not get physical in those screens. They basically played man-to-man. They got up in their grill. They made it a little tough for them, but they didn't commit the silly fouls, making the refs make those calls. And that's where I think Mitch Johnson and the guys won head over heels over anything else, was that they didn't leave the refs to make a deciding call, whether it's a foul or not. They played tough and hard-nosed defense, and you know what? They got the win, and I love those takeaways. I can give you a couple of takeaways here, but we got a super chat. So if you don't mind, I got to get the super chat on here. We don't want to leave them going in. From ZQ, a $20 super chat. Looking at OKC's bench, I think they believe they will get all their calls at home. And it's whatever if Tony Rhodes gets the fame Game 5, we got to play perfect, by the way. You see that last part of the
Yeah.
comment there. So
Thank you for that, though. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
48. Yeah. You made my night. So thank you for adding that little extra bit at the end there. Appreciate
We do
that.
appreciate that. Real quick before I get my takeaways, do you think Oklahoma City kind of just conceded the game?
Yes, I did.
Thinking that they would go to a game 7, we got it at home. We're not going to worry
Oh,
about
what do you mean?
this.
Like conceded the entire game, like from jump, or you mean?
No. I'm just saying towards the end of the game, it's like,
towards the end of the game.
We're just going to let it be. We're down so much. We're
Yeah.
going to take it to game 7. I hate to say, but I don't think that OKC wanted to lose this game. I think they wanted to close it out because you don't give a team like San Antonio the opportunity to go to a game 7. I mean, they've already beat Oklahoma City in Oklahoma City. They did it in the regular season.
Yeah.
They've already done it in the playoffs.
But on the flip, the Thunder have been one of the teams to beat the Spurs 2 in a row. So they're the other team that was Golden State. And the Thunder did it in the postseason. So keep an eye on that. Yeah, just leave that comment up a little longer. Just kind of want to bask in that last part of that comment there. That's all. I want to bask in it for a little bit longer. But no, you're right. I don't know if they can see I know they threw in the towel early in the half-ish through the third. You could just see that SJ was done and it was done. I mean, I was talking to somebody during the game and I was like, at halftime, I was like, no, this game's over. It's over. I texted you. I said, it's over. It's over.
Yeah.
I texted another colleague of ours and I texted him. I go, it's over. He sent me like a little gif of the number 7. Shout out Shane Carter at the ticket. So, yeah, it was done. You just saw it was like the air went out of the Thunder fast coming out of half. Because coming out of half, this Spurs team just curb stomped them. They continue to just stomp on their necks over and over and over again. I don't think the Thunder really had any type of complete run to even threaten the Spurs. Maybe a little 5-point run here and there, but nothing of significance. So I love that. But thank you for that comment there, number 40 at 48. So we appreciate it. All right, when we get back, we're going to take a very quick break. When we get back, Rudy's going to give us his big takeaways, and then we're going to play the game with Rudy. You know what it is. Turning point, standout stats, standout player. Coming up next right here on this live edition of Spurs in Focus.
As the new leader of the Decepticons, I command you to subscribe to Spurs in Focus.
I think that's what the Spurs did to the Thunder. If you're
Honda chop.
They did the Honda chop like that, like that.
Did you ever think a big fat guy could move like that? I used to move like a big fat guy at one point when I was really big and fat. I used to be able to move like that.
Real quick, did you ever play Honda in the game? Did you ever select him in the character select?
Oh yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
I think I rarely did.
He had that hand chop. He also had he had the move where he would like dive head first into you, like kind of fly across the screen. It was kind of like that. And then he also had the belly flop, and then he would give you the bear hug as well. So yeah, I used to pick Honda. I mean, him and I had a lot in common. We both weighed about the same. So yeah.
I always thought the guy in Bloodsport, the one that Jean-Claude punched him in the nuts. Yeah, I always thought that was E-Honda. Sorry, I thought that was E-Honda. Everybody, thank you for joining us here in this live episode of Spurs in Focus right here on YouTube, iTunes, Pocket Cast, Amazon Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe at the Substack, Spurs in Focus Substack, completely free. You just hit subscribe and you're in. You're part of the crew. More on that later. We are reacting to the Spurs big, and I mean big win. It was do or die. It was win or go home, or in this case, stay home. But the Spurs did it. They avoided elimination, forcing a Game 7 in OKC this Saturday in OKC. But hopefully the Spurs can win. They proved they could beat them in their gym. Hopefully that'll continue. Final score once again was 118-91. Series tied at 3-3. All right, before the break, I gave you my takeaways. Rudy, what's yours?
Takeaway number 1 was defense. Like you mentioned earlier, one of your takeaways, the desperation on the defensive side. Seeing a kid like Carter Bryant having a rough patch there, a rough few games for San Antonio coming in, and just kind of locking down, especially in that third quarter for SGA. I mean, he came in with like a man on a mission, and it kind of went with Wemby. It kind of went with Devin Vassell getting blocks. I mean, you even saw Julian Champagne join the fun. He had 2 blocks on the night. So for me, defense number one, they were making incredible switches. They were staying in front of their man. They were not allowing the refs to, make the calls that you normally would OKC would normally get. They made it tough for OKC. Now, whether they were getting away with stuff or whatever, I'm not going to get into that. I've kind of already given up on the whole flop and all this other stuff. But for me, defense was key here. The other takeaway that I've got is that you got an imperfect De'Aaron Fox, but a perfect night because he had 0 turnovers, took care of the ball. He played the point guard position to perfection, Jeff, dare I say. When I say that, no turnovers, 7 assists, 5 rebounds, 5 points. He did every little thing and stuff the stats pretty much all night. The biggest thing is you want to know is out of your point guard, hey, take care of that damn ball, man. We've seen De'Aaron Fox have some rough nights and everybody's on his case tonight. Yeah, he didn't shoot the ball very well, but he kept everybody in the game, and the game was flowing with De'Aaron Fox in the game. Last thing was bench production. Thank you, bench, for coming around and showing what you can do. Stephon Castle was the only starter tonight at 30-plus minutes. Everybody else was 28, 26, 26, 25. These guys needed a whole bunch of rest going into Game 7. Stephon Castle, I mean, 1 turnover, Jeff. I mean, what more can you say about Stephon Castle? 1 turnover after he had 20 turnovers in 2-game span there. I mean, the kid's been playing really, really good. But bench production, finally, you got everybody coming in. You saw Keldon Johnson. He contributed 9 points. He was making it tough for everybody. Harrison Barnes knocking down a couple of 3-pointers. Of course, Dylan Harper coming off the bench, 18 points. He's a superstar already. Those are my takeaways, man. Those are the almost identical takeaways that you had. Those are my takeaways for Game 6.
All right, there you have it. Those are good. Those are good takeaways. I agree. Every single one of them. The bench production was huge. I mean, this was pretty much a complete game. I look back at Game 6. I can't figure out any other faults. Like, I'm not trying to rain on the parade, everybody. I promise you, but I don't see anything wrong. I mean, okay, fine. You want to nitpick? Okay, corner threes, but minimal turnovers. Let's look at some of the numbers here. Turnovers, was that even an issue for the Spurs?
They were tied 13-13.
Okay, there you have it. So it's a wash. It's a push. Yeah, I mean, maybe the second quarter, that's the only one that the Spurs lost, 31-25. I mean, the Thunder made somewhat of a push, but even then, when they were keeping it close, it didn't feel like they were in control. This Spurs team was in control for pretty much all of the game. Again, the numbers don't lie. They led for 47 freaking minutes of the game. The Thunder didn't lead at 1 second of the game. They had the complete control of the game. All right. Those were Rudy's takeaways. And earlier before the break, I give you my takeaways. But what do y'all think? Let us know right now on the chat. Rudy, the czar of the chat room, he is checking it out right now. Leave him a comment, or you just leave a comment at the Spurs in Focus YouTube page. Go subscribe right now. And in a future episode, we might read some of those comments that you leave on the YouTube side. All right. It's that time of the show where you have fun with Rudy. He doesn't know what category we're going to start off with. It's going to be turning point, standout stats, standout players. He doesn't know. Round and round we go. Where we stop, only I know. Here we go.
Yeah, standout stats, man. I got a bunch of them tonight. Bunch of them. Points in the paint was one big one for me. You saw him be, obviously get to the point. The lob was working. Dylan Harper getting to the basket.
Right.
With Stephon Castle. It just seemed like all these guys were attacking the basket tonight. Carter Bryant with a thunderous dunk. Keldon Johnson into the basket like he normally does. That was a huge factor for me. It seems like when San Antonio can get to the basket, that every team that they played against just struggles and struggles. Why? It's physicality. You're expending a whole lot of energy just trying to stop them from getting to the basket. And when you're on the offensive side, it's like the ball moves a little bit slower. What is OKC known for, Jeff? They are known for keeping guards out of the paint. Every time the Spurs guards get to the paint, it's usually a loss for Oklahoma City in this series, especially with a guy like Victor Wembanyama. Points in the paint was one of my stats of the game. The other stat of the game that I really, really liked was blocks. I mean, they all got into it. Victor got blocks. Cornette got a block. Julian Champagny, Devin Vassell, they both had, 2 blocks each tonight. The defensive presence is going to be felt first by Victor Wembanyama, and when he gets going, everybody falls in line. Everybody starts picking up their defense a notch. So for me, it was points in the paint, 44-38. Congratulations, Spurs, you won on that. Blocks was 7-3. Spurs winning on that as well. Defense. That's all that you need to know about tonight was just defense.
My standout stat is this number, or these numbers, 21-6. So you're asking yourself, okay, what is that number, Jeff? In the second half, the Spurs went to the free throw line 21 times to the Thunder's 6. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that team that draws fouls, Rudy, doesn't flop according to their fan base. But they went to the line, your Spurs, against a team notorious for getting to the free throw line in any way they can. They went to the free throw line 21 times in the second half to the Thunder 6. Huge reason why the Spurs got the W. All right, that's my quick standout stat. What's the next category for Mr. Campos here? Round and round we go. It'll stop. Only I know. Here we go.
Man, turning point of the game.
Yeah.
Whew.
You can pick a lot of them, Rudy.
I mean,
I see a bunch of them. But
there's a ton of them. One of them that comes to mind is the second half, the start. I mean, he came out strong. The turning point for me was when they held Oklahoma City scoreless. They went on a 15-0 run in that third quarter to just put the game away. It was kind of already put away. I think it was in single digits at that time. They went on a massive 15-0 run, put the game away. You saw the air just come out of the Oklahoma City bench and players. Diagonal had no way of figuring out what to do. He couldn't understand what was going on. That was probably my biggest turning point, but also the other turning point was the start of the game, Jeff. And my probably more important than that third quarter was the start by Victor Wembanyama and the game. He got going super early, knocking down a few 3-pointers, just making his spell known defensively, getting to the basket. Once he gets going, once he starts jacking up shots and he starts making them and getting to the paint, making these, 17, 15 footers, everything falls in line. So yes, for me, the biggest turning point was knowing he had to come into this game and start very fast and get shots up, get himself known. Hey, I'm here to play this game and we are here to win. That is my turning point. Victor Wembanyama started the game right there. We need that in game 7. If we don't have that, we're probably not going to the finals, Jeff.
Ooh, well, that's for definitely a game preview. But for me, my turning point in the game, I said it earlier, it's when freaking Devin Vassell let the dog out of him. He's always calm, cool, kind of blow things off, whatever. But my goodness, that fire that he showed when he blocked Holmgren, bucked up to him, shoved him, and talked that trash. I think that set the tone for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
That kind of energy. You rarely see that from Vassell. As a matter of fact, I was with him on draft. Well, I wasn't with him in draft night because that was COVID year, but I was watching him get drafted on the remote broadcast. But my time with him since he was a rookie till this season, I've never, ever seen that type of an explosion out of him. I think that just lit a fire in the rest of the team, and they just went to work. I mean, they went to work and then some. You mentioned that run earlier, Rudy. In that third period, they went on a 27-6 run. That sealed it from there. The score was still close at the start of that run in the third. It was 65-58 Spurs. It ended the quarter with 92-64 Spurs at the edge. It was all but done. In that run, the Thunder went 0 for 8 from the three-point line, and the Thunder went 3 for 22. They went ice cold. So huge. For me, it's the third quarter run, that massive run, and Devin Vassell's passion in the first half. All right, in the final category we got here Where is it? There it is.
All right, I'll give you the easy one like I always do. You're gonna take Wimby, so I won't.
I don't know. No. I don't know. I always
Hey,
tell Rudy, picking Wimby almost every game is too easy. But go ahead.
number one standout player for me is going to be Dylan Harper. 18 points
Absolutely.
tonight, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 turnover, but just continues to show why when he gets to the basket, when he just gets going, he is almost impossible to stop, especially when he gets a full head of steam going to the basket. He's going to draw an and one. He's very crafty, similar to what Manu Ginobili was with San Antonio, how Manu was real crafty around the basket. You're getting the same thing with Dylan Harper. Thank you, Dylan, for bringing back the old school NBA because we don't have to see him chunking up three after three after three. He understands his role. He understands that he needs to get to the basket and get these easy baskets, get these and ones, make OKC defend you. Dylan Harper, superstar in the making, if not already. He's going to be one of my standout players. My other standout player, I mean, Devin Vassell, man. I mean, he's the guy that
Yep.
I've got to pick him every single night because he does something. Even in the losses against OKC, Devin has been a staple for San Antonio in this series. I've been one to apologize on the radio. I've been one to apologize on this show to Devin because I was really hard on him. I said, we're not going to get any more out of Devin Vassell than what we're getting already. And this year, complete 180 degrees. I knew one comment earlier said that he was injured for those first few years. Yes, he did have an injury riddled first few years, but again, even during those injuries years, you saw a Devin that was just kind of leveling off. This year, it's a little bit different. He's actually upped his defensive game. He's been able to score. He's been able to knock down a good amount of his three-point attempts. Devin Vassell is my other standout player, potentially MVP of this series.
MVP of the series? I'm not there. No, I think
it's a personal thing. It's a personal. Of course, Wemby's going to win the trophy. If they win Game 7, they're going to give him the MVP of the series. It's Victor Wembanyama, but
yeah,
I mean, Devin's been knocking down some key shots. He's been doing a lot of Devin Vassell like things this year. Yep. So can we give him second place voting for series MVP?
Sure, why not? Sure,
why not?
See, but for me, no. Second place is Castle. Yeah, I think he. I don't know. Let me think. Well, that's for all other shows.
Well,
Rudy.
I was going to say Harper. Harper has made more of a difference than Castle has. That's questionable, but
I wouldn't. All right,
make a case for Harper.
All right, my standout player is Julian Champagnie. 10.6 rebounds, 2 assists in 25 minutes. He was the biggest plus minus on the good side, plus at plus 24. Goes 2 for 6 from the 3 line. True shooting percentage for the night was 63%. Effective shooting percentage was 63% as well. And again, it's what he did defensively that got my eyes open. 1 steal, 2 blocks, 1 offensive rebound, 1 turnover. Just played clean basketball, 2 fouls. That was it. And overall, I think he made a huge impact on the game. And you need that from him. He's been kind of MIA for a while, not just in this series, but pretty much for a good bulk of the postseason for the Spurs. But he showed up when it mattered in an elimination game. I got to give it a Champagnie. All right. Those are our standout stats, standout players, and turning point. What are yours? Let Rudy know on X at The Sports Answer. Let me know on X at Jeff G Spurs Zone. And leave a comment on the YouTube side as well. Go to Spurs in Focus on YouTube. Hit subscribe. Leave a comment. We'll read in a future episode. Don't forget about the Substack as well. Spurs in Focus Substack. You see it on your screen. You can go subscribe right now. Go do that. By the way, I don't know if you saw this, Rudy. No, as a matter of fact, you did see it. Would you ever be so bold to get a tattoo of the Spurs 2026 championship banner on your arm when the Spurs are not the 2026 champions yet?
No, I don't even have one tattoo. So nonetheless, I'm not going to go get a future Spurs championship tattoo anywhere on my body. So
I have tattoos, or I have them. I just cover them up well. Every time I tell people I have tattoos, they look at me like, you?
I would have never guessed. I would have never guessed.
I hide them very well. But
you look like the guy that might have the Aztec carrying the woman on his back. I'm probably going to go on a limb and say
I don't have that. Mine are more artsy fartsy kind of things. But anyway, Yeah. Go to the Spurs and Focus Substack. There's a picture of a guy who got a tattoo of
I did
Wemby
see
hugging
that,
the
though.
Larry O'Brien trophy with the championship banner behind him. And this
Mhm.
is not even NBA title holding team yet at all. There's no banner 6 yet. This guy was bold, but he got ink on him. And there were people asking him when he posted it on social media, like, what are you going to do if they don't win it all? He said, what are you talking about? They don't win it all. Have you seen Wemby? Like, he's so certain that the Spurs are going to win the title that he got an ink on him.
You know, let's just say if game 7 goes San Antonio's way,
Don't
I'm thrilled.
don't do it.
But there's a very scary team in New York right now.
Okay.
No, I'm just saying, if they so happen to win game 7 and they make it to the finals,
Yeah.
there's a very scary New York Knicks team that I had them as one of the best teams in the East to start the season, but I never expected them to be this damn good in the playoffs. So
If you ever decide to get a tattoo, I hope your first tattoo is a clown on a unicycle juggling.
I know
that'd be it for you.
No, so I have a tattoo in mind. If I ever got my first tattoo, it would be the guy from Disturbed. That would be my first tattoo, probably my only tattoo. I don't know why. I just want that tattoo. I don't know why.
Okay. Yeah. All right, Rudy, you've been monitoring the comments section throughout the show. Let's see what you got. Who's up?
So Jacob from Great of the Market, we both know him. He does a fantastic job.
Yes,
His greatest 2 words in all of sports is definitely game 7, Jeff. Everybody's loving Toros on here, Puerto Vida Spurs. As you mentioned, Josh Mayer, he's going honking, man.
He's going honking. Wow, the owner of the Toros is going honking. So.
Okay, we didn't do the PSA. We got to do it now. Please be safe for all you fans out there.
Don't do anything stupid. Don't be knuckleheads out there.
Celebrate the Spurs way. Don't do anything dumb. You want to make sure you're not in jail, for game 7. You want to be able to see
or on a viral video for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, don't go viral for the wrong reasons. Tim Gonzalez, another supporter of his, Jeff and Rudy. I want to ask you, I know I'll be a dumb question, but do you see a similar from this current Spurs team from the 93 team with Big Dave?
Well,
so 93
didn't win it all. So
93 was what? Rod Strickland, Terry Cummings, Sean Elliott, David Robinson, the team that lost to Portland?
David Wingate.
Was that the Rod Strickland behind the back year? Okay.
Yeah, Charles Jones was on that squad too, I think.
Caldwell Jones.
Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, it was Caldwell Jones.
Yeah. No. This team's better than that one.
This team is way better than that one. But you know what? I will give Tim credit. This has the same feel. Because remember, Portland was a damn good team that got to the NBA Finals that year. So if not for a Rod Strickland behind the back mistake, Spurs probably make the NBA Finals that year. I think they would have played Detroit.
Pistons. Yeah.
Let's hope that we don't get a behind the back reminder this coming game 7.
Pistons would have beat the crap out of the Spurs.
I will argue that fact. We need to visit that one day. I might visit that one day. Yeah. Rocky Garza, a former, sweep the league guy that's always been with us here, says, Rudy, how about them Spurs?
Yes, sir.
Dead in dish. Whoos. We got the Spurs fam in here. What's the keys for the Spurs to close out?
Hey, you want us to do a game preview already?
Let's not do a preview, but one of the questions is give me one key, just one key for you.
You got to hit their outside shots. Outside shots, 3-pointers got to fall.
Okay. I will say my one key is they got to rebound, dude.
Okay.
The second chances. I think when they go to OKC, they tend to get more second chances up there. So Tim is wanting the Mitch to start Luke alongside Wemby to start the game. I don't see that happening.
No, I don't see it happening.
Silverwolf Ventures always in here. Appreciate the love. Says he's talking to me. I respect your opinion, but Devin was hurt during a lot of those years. That was unfortunately for him. And also, you never know when a player is going to start catching up to the skills. I mentioned, Devin was hurt, but you see a player under Devin Vassell. He was averaging 18, 20 points a game under Coach Pop. And it just was like he already hit his ceiling for me in those years under Coach Pop. Under Coach Mitch, he's not averaging as much, but he's playing more two-way ball than we've seen him play under Mitch Johnson than we did in Coach Pop. That's just my opinion on that. Again, I love the fact that people are seeing that as well. And yeah, he was hurt. Captain USA is come on Spurs. Wemby should take this series. Shout out to the MVP, most valuable flopper. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Truth be told, Jeff, I thought it said most valuable plopper.
Mm.
I
I thought it was an OKC fan that said most valuable player at first.
I thought it
Like for
was a
SG.
player too, but I thought it was plopper. I'm like, I don't know if we can actually do that. How many top lottery picks have ever played in a game 7 in their first year of the league? I don't know
Oh
offhand, man.
God. Showtime Lakers? No, it was just Magic.
Well, Magic was the only one. He's a lottery pick,
Yeah.
obviously, he's the first pick. So yeah, I mean, other than Magic, I don't know about any other lottery picks that maybe played game 7s.
That's a tough
Joel's
one.
in
That's a
here.
tough one.
What's up, y'all?
Yes.
Perry Perez. I know Fox did not have a great game, but he was moving a whole lot better tonight, along with Harper having a heck of a night, feeling a whole lot game better for game 7. That's what I was saying earlier about De'Aaron Fox. Off night shooting was 1 of 9 from the field. Did get to the free throw line, knocked down 3 or 4 free throw opportunities, but it was just the flow of the game was a lot better with Fox. You didn't need him to be the Sandman to close out this fourth quarter. You just needed him to just keep those turnovers down, keep everybody focused. Dare I say, similar to what we saw with Speedy Claxton during that title run, where he would come in, kind of just right the ship a little bit. Tony got a little bit of struggle. He would come in, right the ship. Or, I mean, golly, there's another guy that we can maybe even look towards when it comes to De'Aaron Fox, and that's Chris Paul. You know, when his 1 year with the Spurs, there was times you would saw Chris Paul come in the fourth quarter towards the game time, and he would just kind of relax the guys, man. A lot of Tony brothers in here, man. They don't want to see Tony brothers anywhere near game 7.
God, they haven't announced the referees yet.
Well, he refed game 5. I don't think he'll ref game 7 because it's every other game that I think it would be. So fingers crossed. If I jinx this, I am so sorry, man.
Blame it on Rudy, everybody.
Juan Piece is in here.
Yeah,
never seen Devin as hyped as he was tonight.
I've never seen him that hyped.
Joel wants to know. I'm gonna let you handle this one. He says, "How come Holmgren is always compared to Wemby? Two different dudes, not even the same universe."
It's easy. They're tall, lanky, young centers, big. That's it.
They're two-way players,
and they're two-way players, and they're top draft picks. And everybody hears about Team France versus Team USA when under 19 or whatever that game was. So that's it. But statistically, there's no comparison. There's no and Chet, Rudy, has he already done anything in this series? Really, nothing. Really?
No, man.
I mean, he had that one game in game 5. That's about it. But even then, it wasn't like stuffing stats.
I mean, I'm looking at stuff from Chet right now, and I mean, he's just outmatched when it comes to Victor Wembanyama,
and he looks scared of Wemby.
He does.
He looks scared. Here's a guy that can almost match him, at least physically, and he backs away from him a lot.
I mean, he's getting outplayed by guards like Devin Vassell. Julian Champagny plays some tough defense on him. So I don't know what's wrong with Chet. There's a outside rumor that he might be on the move in a couple of years because they may need to look somewhere else. I'm not starting that rumor, but I will say that's
that one,
kind of been said. Devin Vassell is consistent. Another one from Perry. Devin is a kid at Christmas Story. Don't tick him off because he'll beat you up. Besides Wemby, Castle's defense separates him from everybody else, and he is a dog. Castle's defense, he's been playing some really, really good defense. I just, the thing with Castle, Jeff, is do you think he only had 3 fouls tonight, but do you think those certain fouls come at critical parts of the game? It seems like they do.
Well, I mean, Mitch has said it before throughout the season that sometimes you give the keys to the car to Castle, he crashes the car. I think you still see that every once in a while. It's not as bad as it was during his rookie season and some of his sophomore season. But yeah, I think he tries to do too much. Like he wants to go for that home run swing for the ball to go out of the park. And you don't have to do that all the time. But as complete a player as he is, I think that's the next level for him. Is just learning how to play with pace better and make a little bit better decision making. But that's about it, though, from him. I always wonder, Rudy, how would you, if you were stuck having to go up against Wemby one-on-one, you got the ball, would you just body the bleep out of him, or are you just going to give it up and be like, forget it?
No. I mean, obviously he's 7'4". There's a player that I give a ton of credit to in this series. That's Jared McCain. Whenever he's got into the paint against Wemby, he's bodied Wemby, and that's the thing. It's a low center of gravity. I mean, you're putting
Yeah.
your body on Wemby. You're going to kind of push him out of the way, and you're a smaller guy. That's kind of what I would do. I would just get into his body. That was
Yeah.
his biggest knock coming into the NBA, was that he was able to get knocked off the block, is what it was, and that's something that you see a lot of players ended up doing. They're more intimidated because, yes, he has great recovery time when it comes to his defense. He can block just about any shot that goes up. But once you kind of push him a little bit, you don't want to hesitate. That's something Jeremy McCain does. He gets into his body. As soon as he gets into his body, the shot goes up. Why? Because Victor is falling backwards. It's more difficult for him to block that shot. So, yeah, if it was me, I'm doing exactly what McCain does. I'm getting right to the basket. Jeff, they're basically saying you got the Sohan tattoo to piss off Mike Jimenez.
I don't have a Sohan tattoo. All right. I don't. They're just all artsy. All right. That's it. And then, no, they're not what Rudy said earlier. What was it? The Mexican carrying the woman?
Aztec carrying the woman.
I don't have that.
I'm going to have to do some investigating. I think that might be one.
No, I do not. Yeah, go ahead.
If we're in the finals, losing to the Knicks in the cup is everything for the Spurs. Wemby does not like to lose. That was a good point. If it's Knicks and Spurs,
some motivation there.
No, he's talking about the TCGRE, Larry Smith, and Big Dog Antoine Carr. Shout out to Big Dog Antoine Carr. That was a 93 team. Good God. When was the Portland series in? I thought that was 93. I got to go back and look at that.
Yeah, we'll go back to that one. What's the next comment?
Last one we got is here is Brother BKL Sports Entertainment. Shout out to everyone in the chat, including Spurs and Focus Podcast. Keep up the good work on the channel. Appreciate it. Shout out from the South Bronx.
Hey, my Bronx neighbors.
Yeah, man, the Bronx. I used
to live in the Bronx. Well, I used to live, Brother BKL. I used to live in the Bronx in Riverdale, right next to Yonkers. So I lived there for like 4 years, I think. So
from the Knicks fans.
Knicks fans are already here, Rudy.
I don't want to get
okay. Hang on.
I don't want to get too far ahead of this, but like I mentioned, if the Spurs get through Oklahoma City, they play the Knicks. Who are you rooting for, Jeff? Because you are a New York native. You lived there for a while.
New Yorker. Yeah, I'm an adopted New Yorker. I got to go with the hometown team. As much as that pains me, because I am a New Yorker. I got to go. Sorry, New York. Listen,
you're in a win-win situation. You're in a win-win.
Yeah, I'm in a win-win situation. Yeah, if the Spurs don't make it, I'm pulling for the Knicks to win it all. So that's going to be my team. And it knows not because, I don't like the Thunder and because they beat the Spurs. No, because I lived in New York for 20 years of my life. So there. But but after Bronx, I moved to Queens. And then I did it 1 year in Manhattan. And I said, nope, never mind. I went back to Queens. I lived there for 20 years. Let's see.
Don't forget, he predicted Knicks versus Spurs, but Knicks versus Thunder, that's fire.
Really?
If the Knicks play the Thunder, okay, so
I want to see Brunson versus SGA. I think that would be fire.
Jeff, if you took a poll right now, and you said who is the MVP of the league right now, including the playoffs, there's no one I would pick other than Jalen Brunson. Yeah,
I'm with you. Brunson gets it.
Jalen Brunson has become the best player in the league right now in these playoffs.
Can I throw this at you? Let me see if you agree with this. So,
sure.
So my dad is he's a big Knick fan right now. He loves how they play and everything, and he's a big Brunson fan.
Sure.
Tell me if you agree with his comparison. I asked my dad, okay, so why do you like Brunson? Like, what's it with Brunson? He said that Brunson's style of play, just in sports, just in general, I know they're two separate sports here, said it reminds him a lot of how Emmitt Smith played when Emmitt Smith was playing. So Emmitt Smith wasn't the fastest. He wasn't the craftiest. He wasn't the slickest with the moves like a Barry Sanders, but he got the job done.
Yeah. And
he said that's what Brunson reminds him of, like just a peak Emmitt Smith.
I would totally agree with that comparison because Jalen Brunson, like you mentioned, he's not flashy. He just goes in. He knows what he's got to do. He gets the job done. He wants the ball in winning time.
Yeah.
Credit Mike Brown for putting him in a better situation too. He did a remarkable job with Karl Anthony Towns, making Karl Anthony Towns be more playing off the ball, being more facilitator too. But I'll tell your dad, I'll give him this kind of a credit too. Again, I'm going to get so probably smoked on this, and it's not even funny, but if you understand where I'm coming from, then you'll probably get where I went with this. Jalen Brunson reminds me a lot of Tim Duncan. He's just quiet. He's quiet. He gets the job done. He's going to put up numbers, and they may not be gaudy numbers, but he's going to put up numbers night in and night out. He's going to go in. He's going to want the ball in winning time. He wants to make his teammates better at all points of the game. To me, outside of the defense, obviously with Tim Duncan, but when you're coming to a guy that is probably one of the best, if not the best player in the league right now, that doesn't get a whole lot of credit, it's Jalen Brunson, where remember, Tim Duncan is a guy that never got a whole lot of love from NBA fans and NBA players. I mean, the players knew, but fans didn't. Jalen Brunson is quietly becoming a top 3 player in the league right now because of these playoffs.
But either way, if it's Spurs, Knicks, that's the rematch, the 99. The Knicks will be looking for a redemption. We're going to redeem that 99 team. We're going to get you back in Spurs. And Spurs just looking to etch their own history, because think about it. This Spurs team is still in the shadow of the Big 3 era. This is a good way for them to break away from that and be their own thing. They already are, but to really, really cement that, that'll be good. But again, there's still a game 7 to go, everybody. So got to take care of business first. But Knicks fans are already showing up, so I wonder who they're cheering for in this game 7. All right, thank you. You got any more comments before we go, or we're good?
Yeah, Spurs and Theory is here. What a win, Michael. And did you
Mike
have to get back?
He's still ducking me. Me.
So you involved me in the whole Twitter war between you and Mike. I mean, what?
There's no Twitter war. First of all, there's no Twitter war.
Okay.
Second of all, I'm just giving him the business, but. Technically, yes, I have invited him numerous times, and it's I just got the message now. I told him
because he said I
don't really check. So
he asked me about it because he said, there's 2 of us picking on him now, and I said, well, look, Jeff pays me to do this picking on people, so that's why I have to pick on Mike. But he says there will be now, so I guess he's getting the messages now, Jeff. So. We can definitely have Mike on.
All right, we'll have Rehome on. Hopefully, talk about the Spurs postseason continuing after Saturday. But Saturday cannot get here fast enough. Once again, your San Antonio Spurs get the W in Game 6. Do or die, the Spurs did, beating the Thunder 118-91. Series is tied at 3 games apiece, but they got to get a G7 win in OKC, and it'll be this Saturday. Everybody all know I usually take the weekends off, and Rudy and I, we don't, but it is a game 7. So if anything, you'll probably get at least a recorded show preview it this weekend. I'm hoping it. I'm going to try to convince Rudy, everybody. Don't tell him. All right. Don't tell him. But we'll see if we can get a game preview in before Saturday. I'm already nervous, man. I'm nervous. I don't, I'm going to save it for the preview show. Something to look forward to, everybody. All right. We thank y'all for leaving comments, everybody. And shout out to the super chat and leaving me that nice comment at the end of your comment. I appreciated that other one too. So yes, we appreciate it as well. Go subscribe to Spurs in Focus right now. YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Podcasts, Pocket Casts. Yeah, pick a platform. We are there. Spotify, YouTube as well, because it also has the Spurs in Focus YouTube page, YouTube channel, the videos. Go subscribe to that right now. Of course, Spurs in Focus Substack, completely free. Just go to Google, put Spurs in Focus Substack. You'll find it, subscribe, and you're in. Rudy, until game 7. Hopefully it's a win and not a loss. We'll see it then. Oh, we got one bonus one. What's this one say?
Carlos Conchita. I love that name. I don't know why I just love that name. If the Spurs win Saturday night, 9 months from now, kids are going to be named Wemby.
Rudy's gonna have a bun in the oven with his wife.
No. I've got one, and that's enough. That's enough.
Yeah.
Definitely, that's enough.
Yeah. I don't have kids, so woohoo! It's gonna stay that way. All right, everybody. Again, thank y'all for joining us here on this live episode of Spurs in Focus. That guy next to me, he is Mr. Rudy Campos. Follow him on X at the Sports Answer. Real quick, Rudy, the answer, brag about it.
Yeah, so we've got the Friday drive happening tomorrow. You can join myself, Derek Gervin. We're going to be previewing, obviously, Game 7 between the Spurs and the Thunder. Derek's going to give you, he's a former NBA player, brother of George Gervin. So you know you're going to get a whole lot of good content from Derek Gervin. All you got to do is go to Box Score Studio TV or go to Answer Now TV. Hit that subscribe button so you can see the Friday drive, which happens about 5:30 Central Time. It's myself, it's Derek Gervin. Plus, we're going to give some love tomorrow because we're going to educate the kids on the history of basketball.
Ooh.
Point guards, man. The point guards out of New York City, Kenny Anderson, Stephon Marbury. There's a ton of point guards that come out of New York basketball, and we're going to get into that tomorrow as well. Plus all your comments in there. So be sure to go to Answer Now TV or Box Score Studio. Hit the subscribe button so you're not left out on the Friday drive with myself and Derek Irvin.
Will Dylan Harper be in that list? Because he is from the New York area.
He's not quite there yet. I will say yet.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
There's
All right.
more legends that come out of New York first.
All right.
So
all right. Go check out the Sports Answer right now. Best way to do this, follow Rudy on X at the Sports Answer. Yeah. That's all San Antonio cheering right there. And everybody else, again, we thank y'all for making Spurs in Focus your first and only spot for all things San Antonio Spurs. Yeah, don't go anywhere else. Unsubscribe to the other spots. You want to come here, Spurs in Focus, your first listen, your first watch every time you want some Spurs information. So for Mr. Rudy Campos, I am Jeff Garcia. Now you're in focus with Spurs in Focus.